Hello and welcome to the Feminine Millionaire Show. I'm your host, Polly Alexandre. I'm a success coach, healer, creative, and future millionaire. If creating money and success in a spiritual and feminine way is your goal, this show is for you. Understand how to overcome your past, bring your soul's greatest gifts to the world, and uplevel your income, impact, joy, and happiness. Join me on my journey to creating a 7-figure business and learn the business mindset, spiritual and lifestyle changes I make along the way. Let's all rise together. Hello and welcome to episode 40, How to Feel Worthy of More. Today's solo episode is a super important topic. It's one that I believe we all struggle with and we're all on a journey with, and it is self-worth. What is self-worth? Self-worth is accepting yourself the way you are right now and accepting that you are a good and worthy person just because you exist. It's the ability to feel good about your core self. Self-worth is the belief that you are lovable and valuable regardless of how you evaluate your traits or your current situation. It's really about the ability to feel good enough exactly as we are. And it's also about respecting ourselves, our time, energy, gifts and well-being. And it's about believing in our worth and our value. Now, I have observed that in terms of business, the level of self-worth which brought you in 50k a year will be different to that which brings you in 150k and different to that which brings you in 500k a year. Now, the roots of self-esteem are formed early in life. Much of how we feel about ourselves as adults was in fact formed in early childhood. But our self-esteem is not necessarily consistent over time, and the good news is that you can totally change it and transform it. Self-esteem can be impacted by a relationship breakup, a divorce, redundancy, motherhood, income, or a change of job. Many different life circumstances can impact self-esteem both positively and negatively. And my experience is that women in particular experience self-worth challenges much more so than men. Now, there are societal, gender and cultural reasons for this, and hormones also play a part. You may find that your sense of self-esteem and self-perception varies over the monthly cycle. So tracking your cycle can help you understand how hormones can impact your self-worth and self-esteem. So what we're aiming for is a more resilient sense of self-worth that is less dependent on external circumstances and that allows us to handle life's challenges, disappointments and setbacks with more grace and ease. When we have a strong sense of self-worth, we can approach life with confidence and optimism that things will work out for us, and we can feel happy and fulfilled. Healthy self-worth says I don't have to be perfect to be successful or loved or wealthy. And it says I deserve happiness and fulfillment despite my imperfections and challenges. So, how can you improve your self-worth? Quite simply, I believe that we improve our self-worth by letting go of old conditioning, by releasing childhood programming and trauma, and by learning how to value ourselves and treat ourselves better. by creating more realistic standards for ourselves, and by less self-judgment. This really is a journey where you need to allow the time you need to develop your worth and be really gentle with yourself during the process, because it's a lifetime's work. It's one of the biggest areas I work on with my coaching clients, in my programs, and in my high-level masterminds. And it's work we do at every income level. The truth is that self-worth wasn't modelled for us in society, and generally not by our parents or family either. And before I dive into some tips to help you start transforming your self-worth, I want to share something that I believe we need to do. And this might sound like a bit of a contradiction, but we need to disconnect our self-worth from external measures. So this is the first thing. You need to disconnect your self-worth from your income, so that you believe and feel worthy of money even if you didn't hit your goals this month. So that you feel worthy of success even if your launch was a disappointment or a total flop, or you didn't get that job. So that you feel worthy of love even if you aren't in a relationship or your marriage has just broken down. So that you feel worthy of self-love, even if your body is not in the shape or weight you would like it to be at. We need to disconnect our self-worth from external measures. And the problem is, when we attach our self-worth to external measures, it's a roller coaster. So we have a great month in business and we feel incredible. And then the next month, we have a rubbish month in business, and then we feel terrible about ourselves. We label ourselves a failure, not good enough, it's all going wrong, and we beat ourselves up. So as long as we keep our self-worth attached to outside measures like money or success or relationships or lifestyle, we will be on this roller coaster. So that's the one really important thing that I believe we need to do. And the second, you've probably heard the phrase, your net worth will never outstrip your self-worth. So what that means is that in order to make more money, you need to increase your self-worth. And I have seen a relationship between self-worth and net worth. So at the same time as you want to be disconnecting your self-worth from your income and external measures, you also want to be growing your self-worth consistently. So I'm going to share some ways that you can do this. But before we do, let's look at some stories that say you're not enough. Raising your hand in class and getting the answer wrong at school. The feeling of shame, of humiliation, of feeling wrong, not good enough. Quite often the stories that lead us to feel not enough, not worthy of more, these can stem from quite small, seemingly insignificant incidents in childhood. Perhaps you experienced low grades, failures in exams, or poor school reports. And unconsciously you started to label yourself as not good enough. Being overlooked for promotions or raises at work. Being constantly criticised as a child and told that you could do better. This was one I personally experienced. Now this may be well-meaning, with the idea of improving you, helping you create better results, get a better job. But the underlying message is that you are not enough. And really any kind of neglect, abuse or programming that made you feel unimportant in your family, unheard or unseen. So being neglected can send the message that you're not worthy of attention and love. Or perhaps, like many of the women I work with, you had a parent that had such high expectations of you, you felt like you never lived up to them. Maybe you were compared to a sibling, told, why couldn't you be more like them? Maybe you were constantly told to improve your grades. No wonder we struggle with self-worth as adults when we grow up with these kind of experiences. Other stories that say you're not enough include the media. The advertising industry is built upon making you feel inadequate, so you'll buy that product to fix you. Okay? And the collective influence cannot be underestimated. And then past relationships where you felt undervalued, taken for granted, or not good enough. These are just a few of the stories that we can experience that say we're not enough. So, it's time to make a decision to value yourself more and know it's a journey. It does not happen overnight. So how do we do this? Number one, we release old stories that say we are not enough. And number two, we adopt new practices and create new beliefs that support strong self-worth. Okay, I'm just going to share a few practices here to help you grow your self-worth. Number one, stop overworking and over-delivering. As women, we have adopted the masculine way of working and pushing and striving. So many of the women in my community would greatly benefit by valuing themselves more, by working less and breaking the pattern of over-delivering. Number two, take more rest and more breaks. Closely linked to number one. In order to have mental clarity and emotional stability, you need to take time out for yourself in order to relax, re-energize, and rest. Now, when you have low self-worth, you perceive you're not worthy of indulging in things that you enjoy or that are not productive, and you may put your needs behind those of others. When you take time out to do nice things for yourself and engage in self-nurturing activities you enjoy, this sends the message out to the universe and yourself that you are important and deserving of good things. Self-care allows you to recharge your battery and create more balance between caring for yourself and for others. It creates a healthier dynamic for all involved. So taking care of yourself is actually a gift that you give to others. Taking care of yourself is a gift you give to others. Okay, let's continue with those practices to grow your self-worth. So number three is being kinder and more compassionate to yourself and lowering your expectations. Set goals to support you, not stress you, yeah? One of the problems I found is that my expectations around what I could accomplish in a day or a week or a month or a year were completely unrealistic, and then I beat myself up when I didn't meet them. So be kinder to yourself by lowering your expectations of what you do and achieve. Number four is to take stock of your gifts. The things that come naturally to you, the things you're good at, your achievements to date, what you've overcome, created, contributed, and put these down on paper, really taking a powerful self-assessment of your gifts, your light shadows. Number five is setting more powerful boundaries around your time, around your energy, around what's acceptable to you. This is a way of taking a stand for your self-worth. Okay, number six is practicing self-forgiveness and self-compassion. Forgiving yourself for your mistakes. This is a part of every program I run. We have self-forgiveness as an integral practice. Number seven is to practice receiving. Practice receiving compliments, money, gifts. It's a muscle that you have to develop. It doesn't come naturally. You have to learn how to receive gracefully, and how to feel good about receiving. So receiving without guilt or shame or unworthiness. Number 8 is overcoming perfectionism. That's linked to those high standards, but allowing yourself to be less than perfect and still worthy. Number 9 is talking to yourself more kindly. Practice positive self-talk. And number 10 is to connect to the divine you. Your soul, you are so much more than a human being. You are a spiritual being. This divine part of you is always perfect, whole and complete. And so the more that you can come into this integration, this identity of yourself as a soul, as mind, body and spirit, the easier it's going to be to accept your humanity, to accept your flaws, to accept that you are a fallible human and that you do make mistakes and you do get things imperfect. So, I wanted to keep this succinct today. I hope that has awakened or opened up something in you or provoked a thought. And the invitation today is to take one piece that I've shared. Just one piece. No overachieving, no over-trying, no overworking. Taking one piece and seeing how you can play with that and integrate that over the coming week. Self-worth is a journey, and it's a journey to be patient, kind and compassionate with yourself. So, I am excited to announce I've just released something really special. Because this journey of how to feel worthy of more is such a big piece of the work I do with women and men, I decided to create something that could help you right now. So before you're enrolled in my masterminds or my high-level programs, I wanted to support you to be able to make shifts easily and gently and kindly to yourself. And many of you have shared how powerful the Abundance Accelerator is. So I've actually created something called the Self-Worth Series. This is 7 days of fast, highly effective, daily energy clearing meditations that help create deep transformational shifts in how you value yourself and how you feel about yourself and your self-worth. The energy clearings are between about 13 and 18 minutes. They're live channeled energy transmissions where I use powerful energy work to release old beliefs and old energy and bring in new beliefs and programs to your subconscious mind. So I have studied the work that I've been doing with my clients at all levels and come up with a series of blocks that I see playing out. These blocks include family patterns, self-criticism, perfectionism, boundary setting, guilt, unworthiness, opening up to receive. And in this series, I gently focus on releasing the deep energy patterns and subconscious belief systems that are holding you back from feeling worthy and deserving of all the good in life, from money to love to good health, to success, peace, joy, opportunities, and much more. You can listen to these one a day for 7 days, or you could stay with one for a few days before moving on to the next one. Your intuition will guide you to repeat and the pace that you need to go at. And the energy work goes in on a deeper level each time you listen. So I'm excited that these are literally just launching today as you hear this podcast, and you can go to polyalexander.com/self-worth to find out more and purchase this series. And we have a Black Friday special. So those of you who are listening to the podcast in the weekend it's released until midnight on Monday, that is the 29th of November, you will be able to purchase it at a special Black Friday rate. Oh, such an important topic. Such an important topic. I honour the time that you have invested today listening to how to improve your self-worth. Just really honouring that part of you that knows that you deserve more, you deserve to feel worthy of more. And that part of you that is committed to valuing and loving yourself more. I honour that part of you. It's been my pleasure to support you here through this podcast. If you would like to go deeper with this work, I invite you to check out the 7-day self-worth series. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye for now.